I am Gerald J. Dye, eldest son of Myron John Dye and Lucy Jane Jensen Dye. And this bit of history is taken from my book, Notes from the Diaries of My Memory, Volume 1. There was a great sense of anticipation and excitement around the small village of Firth, Idaho, during the late fall of 1924. Crews of men and horses were working daily from daylight until dark, bringing additional electrical power lines southward from Idaho Falls toward Firth. Those of later generations who have been blessed with every modern convenience known to man may have a difficult time understanding why these people would make such a fuss over digging holes, planting poles, and stringing wire. However, to the hardy souls of 1924, the event was of such magnitude as to be classed with the great miracles. Among those anticipating the miracle were many of the original homesteading pioneers who had labored since 1885 in rooting up sagebrush, digging canals, planting and harvesting crops, and building homes with rather primitive equipment. They had accomplished morning and evening chores such as milking cows, feeding livestock, and preparing meals by the light of a mutton tallow candle or coal oil lamps. Some may have owned a very sophisticated system, the carbide planter. They also read scriptures and studied other good books with the help of these smelly, dim, flickering sources of light. Yes, there was ample justification for excitement concerning the blessed inventions snaking down the west banks of the Snake River. Soon houses and barns in many rural areas would be flooded with clean light at the flip of a switch. This was the primary subject of a conversation at the Dye's Mercantile Store, the old grain mill building, and the Haycock's barber shop. Myron John Dye, a young man of 20 years, was a member of one of the power crews. He and his team of horses drew a wage of $2 per day, daylight until dark. This was not a lot of money by today's standards, but Myron was delighted and grateful for employment. Lucy Jane Jensen, his wife of 1 year, was expecting their first child in March. Myron and his team of horses could earn $20 in 10 days. Just enough to pay the doctor for the delivery. The crews had enjoyed fairly decent working conditions through January and the first part of February. It had been an open winter, little snow, although the temperatures were well below freezing. The Snake River had frozen over in many places, and the frozen ground made digging holes for power poles very difficult. The men were quite jubilant about the rate of progress. By February 11th, they had reached a point about 3 miles north of Firth, where the old steel farm is located. Myron's recollections of the following day, Lincoln's birthday, are rather vivid. The men had been working only a few hours when Mother Nature struck with a vengeance. A driving Idaho blizzard soon cut visibility to only a few feet. Roads and trails and fence lines began to disappear quickly in the full-blown storm. Myron recalls blindly following his team for several hours, hoping all the while they knew the way home. At long last, the faithful horses came to a halt, and Myron was able to recognize the familiar landmarks of home. This storm was to delay the completion of power lines into the rural area around Firth for about a month. The exact date of completion is not known, but Myron believes it was around the 1st of April, 1925. This delay had a significant impact in the life of the author and will be discussed at a later point in this history.